National Home Buyers Month. I am Marva Morris, your Central New Jersey Realtor. We are at day 27. We've talked about finding a home and getting under contract, but let's rewind a bit to cover the journey from contract to keys, specifically from the lender's perspective. What happens with your mortgage in that month or so before closing? It's often a black box to first timers, so I want to illuminate it for you. Let's go. Let's talk about loan processing and underwriting. Once you're under contract, we kick your mortgage process into high gear. You likely got pre-approved already. We discussed that on day 4. Now you'll go back to that lender and say excitedly, I have a contract. They'll ask for an updated set of documents. Even if you gave some before, they might need the latest pay stub, another bank statement, could be anything. They'll also order the appraisal. We discussed that on day 13. Processing is when a loan processor gathers all the information and they may reach out if anything is missing. They'll verify your employment. Often they do this by contacting your employer directly. They're going to verify deposits. If you had a large recent bank deposit, be ready to explain it. Is it a gift from your mom? Is it a tax refund? They need to source it. And this means that they got to see where they got the money from and make sure it's legal. Then we have underwriting. This is where a licensed underwriter reviews your whole file, income, credit, appraisal, etc., against what they have as loan guidelines. They want to be sure that you meet the criteria for the loan program and that you'll be able to repay the loan. They are the gatekeepers to the loan, and they dot all the I's and cross all the T's. Whatever they ask for, be prepared to give it. Don't give them a hard time. Now, don't be surprised if a week or two after you've submitted this paperwork, you get a conditional approval. It's basically a green light if you satisfy some final conditions. So they'll tell you other things that they need you to do. Common conditions include providing a letter explaining some credit inquiry or an updated bank statement showing your down payment funds. So you got that. Or they might want evidence that an old lien was paid off. They could ask you for quite a few things. Sometimes they'll require something from the property side, like the appraiser noted peeling paint that they wanted to be fixed, and then they'll come out and re-inspect that. Now, that's rare on conventional loans, but it is something that will come up, especially on FHA loans. So you got to be prepared for that. Now, we handle any of these property-related asks with the seller. We let them know what they need to do. Now, here's your role. The best thing that you can do in this phase is to be responsive and transparent. If the lender asks for a document, try to get it to them quickly. It keeps everything on track. Also, avoid doing anything that changes your financial picture. I mentioned some of these things on day 21. Don't open a new credit account. Don't make any big purchases. Don't switch jobs without telling your lender. If you're getting a new job, talk to them first and they'll figure out how to make it work. Even buying furniture on credit can wait. Trust me, the couch can be bought after the closing without risking your loan. Now let's talk rate lock. By now, you've likely locked in your interest rate. Usually you lock it in for 30 or 45 days, and this will cover you through closing. Now, if the rate drops significantly during that time frame, talk to your lender. Sometimes they can renegotiate a bit and float the rate down, but often a lock is a lock unless you pay to extend it or change it. Now for the final approval, the clear to close. Music to our ears. A few days before closing, once all the conditions are met, The underwriter gives us a clear to close. Now that means you are fully approved and the closing can proceed. The lender sends closing documents to the title company or the attorney. Next, let's talk closing disclosures, which are also known as your CD. At least 3 days before closing, you'll receive the closing disclosure forms. Now, it outlines all the final numbers, your loan terms, your closing costs, the cash that you need to bring to closing, or the cashier's check. You want to review it carefully. I can go over it with you to ensure that it matches what we expect. Now, this 3-day review period is required by law. We call those the TRID rules. It gives you time to ask questions and to maybe say, nope, this is not right and this is not right, and to get that fixed. At closing, the lender will send the funds, which is the loan amount, to the closing agent, which is a representative of the title company, and you bring your down payment. You sign a big stack of mortgage documents, the deed transfer, one of those documents, which is the note, which is your promise to pay, and another, which is the mortgage or the deed of trust, which secures the loan against the property. Here's a post-closing heads up, because it happens. Your lender might sell your loan after closing. It's very common. One day, you're going to get a notice, or possibly get a notice, that your loan is now being serviced by XYZ Bank instead of Wells Fargo. Don't panic. The rate and terms don't change. It's a behind-the-scenes thing. Just make sure that you update where to send your payments. Now, I tell clients to always verify any such notice by calling your original lender to avoid any scams, but it's typically legit and expected. Communication is key. Throughout this process, I'll be in touch with your lender regularly as well as with you. If something doesn't make sense or seems stuck, I'll help push or clarify that. Sometimes we might need to extend a closing if underwriting takes too long or an issue arises that we need to solve. Just know it's not the end of the world. We'd negotiate an extension with the seller if we needed to, but usually with preparation and quick response and action, we hit our target. Our closing date is met. We are always ready for certain things, and we've done it before. Now, the mortgage process can feel invasive. They'll ask for lots of info, and at times it will be frustrating. And you're going to say to yourself, didn't I already send that? But it's just the nature of borrowing hundreds of thousands of dollars. Banks got to be sure, and you want them to be. Just take a deep breath and provide the information. You are almost at the finish line. As always, if you have any concerns during the loan process, let me know. I am here to advocate for you and explain anything in plain language that you may not understand. You can text or call me at 609-468-6324. And if you feel lost in the loan sauce, I'm there for you. Now, day 28 is up next. We're going to talk more about HOAs and community living, since that's a whole aspect we touched on, but we're going to dig a bit deeper into. See you tomorrow. Once again, I am Marva Morris, your Central New Jersey Realtor, and I am moving you forward. Happy National Homebuyers Month, and you have an awesome and amazing day. Happy National Homebuyers Month.